Hello everybody, it's Karen here. I hope you're all keeping well. Today I'm going to show you how to make paper blossom. So there's blossom out all over the place just now, cherry blossom, apple blossom, all the fruit trees, and they look absolutely beautiful. You'll see them in the parks and gardens, really lovely. So I thought it's nice to make some paper blossom, and that way you've got blossom all year round, it's not going to fade. So the two different projects I'm going to talk you through today, both of them only use 3 household things. So it's really good if you want to use this as part of the UCAN Award, where you've got to make something out of 3 household objects. So this one would fit in really well for that. So I'll tell you the things that you need to be able to make them, but they look really cool. So here goes. Okay guys, the things that you need to make this are a cardboard tube. So quite a long one, so not a toilet roll, a short one, a long one, maybe get gift wrap paper in or silver foil or something. If it's very long, you need to cut it down. So you want it about, if you can, about 30 or 40 centimetres at least. So you can see how long that one is there. Pair of scissors, you need a glue stick. You need a glass jar to put your blossom in when you've made it. And you need a paintbrush. And you need some brown paint. Now, if you don't have brown paint, I'm sure you all remember the way you make brown is by mixing 3 colours together. So you need your most amount is the red, and then you need a little bit of blue and a little bit of yellow. Okay, so a lot of red, a little splodge of blue and a little splodge of yellow. If you mix those 3 together, you're going to get your brown colour. Okay, and then you need some tissue paper, some pink and some white tissue paper cut into small squares. Now, if you don't have pink or white tissue paper, then what you can do is you can make your own out of using kitchen paper. So if you tear it up into sections, and then you can wet it on a plate and then put a splodge of pink paint or even red food colouring and just leave it to dry in the sunshine. And then when it dries, you've got some nice soft paper that you can use and cut into squares instead. So that works just as well. You haven't got the 2 colours, but you've got the 1 colour, but it actually works really well. You can get a nice soft edge on it as well. Okay, but today we're going to use the pink and white tissue paper to make ours. Okay, so the only other thing you need is the blue water in the bottom of the jar is made from colouring rice. So we need some rice, just a small amount of rice, enough just to fill the bottom of your jar, and we need some blue food colouring. Okay, and that's it. So let's get busy. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our blue water, which is just made out of rice, coloured. So you don't want real water in the bottom of your jar, because obviously your blossom is going to be made from a cardboard tube. It'll go soggy. So we need to have pretend water. So I'm going to show you how to do this. It's dead easy. It's really good fun. So you get a little bit of rice in a bowl. See, I've got enough just to fill the bottom of my glass jar, and some blue food colouring. And all you do is drop the food colouring into the rice, a few drops at a time, just enough to colour it. Probably a bit more than you would use if you were colouring icing or something. A little bit more than that, and then we just stir it round. Stir it round until it goes a lovely, nice shade of blue. So no water or anything, just the food colouring. You can see there, it's lovely, lovely shade of blue. And then what you do is just spread it out on a plate or on a tin tray with some foil and let it dry. So it normally takes, you can dry it in a very low heat oven. It takes about half an hour, or you can just leave it somewhere warm and it will dry. So that's the only bit of preparation you really need to do before you get going. And it should come out, it should come out looking like that, which is really nice. Okay. So if we're working from our UCAN Awards, one of the household things that we've got is our rice. So that's one of them. The other one, of course, is your glass jar. And the other one, the other third thing, is your cardboard tube. So there's your 3 things. We could add the tissue paper in as well, but that would give us 4. But we'll let you away with that one. You've got your 3 things here. Okay. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to paint your cardboard. So you need to give it a really good coating of paint. And remember that you need to paint down inside as well, because when you cut into this tube, you're going to see some of the branches on the underside. So you need to paint inside. So as far as the paintbrush will go down inside the top end of the tube, you just need to do that on one side and then cover the rest of it with paint. Give it a jolly good coating. Okay, so when you've done that and it dried, it should look like this one here. So then what you're going to do is you're going to make some cuts down to about halfway. So you can see I've made lots of them all the way round, and that opens up to form your branches that you can then stick your flowers onto. Okay. Then we're going to start making the blossoms to stick onto the twigs. So we do that using our tissue paper, cut into squares, and all you do is fold the tissue paper in the middle and then give it a good twist round at the end. Okay, like that. And then what you do is just tear the tops, the pointy bits off the top, so it gives it a nice soft top, and then open it up. And there's your blossoms. So it's easy as that, dead easy. So you're going to make quite a lot of those. You probably need at least 20 blossoms, if not more. 30 would be even better. And then what you do is you start gluing them onto the twigs. So you can start at the top and then you can work down. You can even put some on the inside as well. So you can cover your whole branches using lots and lots of the blossoms. So you keep going and doing that until you end up with something that looks like a full blossom tree, which I'll show you if I can get one over here. So you keep going with all your blossoms all the way around until you get something that looks like this, which is like a little blossom tree. Now you could have this on your own, sit on its own if you want, because it does look really nice. It's a little blossom tree, or you could put it into the jar that I've got here that we did with the rice. The good thing about putting it into the jar, it looks like a jar full of blossom, which is quite pretty, quite decorative, and it doesn't fall over either. So it looks really cool. So you could make a very similar thing using twigs and branches that you find when you're out on one of your walks, in which case you just stick the blossoms onto the real branches rather than making one using the cardboard tube, and it just works the same way and sits in the jar. So here's the blossoms stuck onto the twigs, which look really effective as well. So if you fancy having a go at any of these projects, send us in some pictures and we can see how you got on. Okay, bye.